Hi guys, Peter here. I'm going to be doing a general collective creative unconscious reading for the general collective creative unconscious. We are living in a crazy time and age, but that crazy time and age is usually a reflection of everything inside. So I like to think that that's what the message, the overall mission statement is of this channel, broadcasting to you out there in TV land. Check out my Patreon, Running Gun Tarot. If you're watching this, chances are you're watching this either on Patreon or YouTube. Shout out to all my followers. Thank you. And to anybody new, feel free to like, share, follow, subscribe. Just trying to spread peace, love, and light. Basically, I'm simulcasting right now on Periscope here. Some exclusive content. So feel free to become a subscriber, member. I'm going to post this as available, most likely exclusive content, either on like the first tier or second tier subscription basis. But just going to do a little premeditative talk before I do like general collective readings. I'm going to try to invest way more time into reading tarot. But yeah, decks are pre-shuffled. This is just going to be a general collective reading. And we're going to do the damn thing. So this is for all signs included. I'm going to be posting daily more. I'm going to be posting a weekly general reading, monthly general, daily generals more than likely. And then I'm also going to be posting sign-specific content. Again, all that is going to be available on Patreon for the sign-specific content, in which case you'll have to subscribe to one of the subscriptions. I think the first tier gives you all access to all the content. It's like $30 a month. So if you're feeling freaky, feel free to do that. There's also a $60 tier subscription, which gives you 2 on-demand, essentially emergency tarot readings. Should you feel so inclined, you can reach out to me whenever, and that's going to be on demand, as long as I'm available. Available at the drop of a hat, I'm going to be able to give you a reading. So you'll just reach out to my contact information, either pre-recorded or live. Also, the final tier is the third tier, and that's going to give you a 12-sector astrological natal chart reading. I'm not going to be reading the planets or the signs or the stars, but I'm going to basically be flipping tarot cards for each of the sectors in your life, which are the 12 houses of the astrological house natal chart that exists out there in the ether. So I'm going to be using that. Each of the houses basically rule a sector of your life, and I'm going to be flipping for you. This reading is meant as a monthly progress report. So essentially, it's like $160, something crazy value, but I'm charging like $100 for it. And if you want to subscribe to that, you could get that each month. Or if you just want a one and done deal, if you're curious, then you could subscribe for the 1 month. Get the 12 sector reading. It's going to give you basically all the 12 sectors of your life. It's going to give you where you're at in the month. Obviously, if you subscribe and get it, month by month, then it's going to be used as like a progress report for you to make progress in all the areas of your life that you want to. But again, so with that subscription, that third tier subscription, you also get all access content to behind the scenes Periscope stuff, all my poetry, all my music. Essentially, I'm gonna figure out how to rig that, but and then you get all the access to all the sign specific readings, including dailies, monthly, yearly, generals, so forecasts and all that stuff. So there's a lot of content, and again, I'm gonna be churning it out like butter. But for now. And I hope you fast forward past all that commercial stuff, but it is an invaluable tool to just get an idea of what I'm kind of putting out there. For now, we're going to do a general reading for today. It is June 1st, 2020. And again, shout out to Rockstar, Pure Zero. They're not paying me, but hey, if someone's out there, you want to pay me, feel free. You could be a sponsor. So yeah, on this channel, we're just preaching, love and light and peace and all that good stuff, and we're just trying to, be super cool and chill and zen about everything. I kind of believe in pacifism and all that good stuff politically. You see, you got the love and the Buddha right there. So, but anyways, as far as the general collective reading that I got going in front of me, I'm using the David Bowie deck. I'm using the deck of playing cards, and then I'm using the Tattoo Tarot, which I'll show to you respectively as I go through this reading. So Spirit, highest possible messages for the general collective creative unconscious, as it were, in this time of what have you. I definitely see the Eight of Pentacles first and foremost. That's Virgo. Eights are about new beginnings. The eight can be interpreted as limniscate, an infinity set, so a lifestyle. I often started recently reading this card as doing your soul's work. What are your God-given gifts and talents? And what are you working with? For me, I got the gift of gab, so I feel like this is a perfect thing to be doing. Reading tarot cards, and I fancy music here and there, so doing poetry and music and all that stuff, just kind of artsy stuff. But essentially, I think, it's like your spiritual work. I think we all have spiritual work. We're all given, a gift. And it's like, how are you channeling that gift? What side of the equation are you on? Are you on the side of good and or bad? And I don't necessarily think that life is always that simple, but I think for the most part it is. And I think that, if you're a conscious light worker, like I kind of guess I fancy myself to be, then it all starts with being able to, see your ego, and then also see the others' egos, and then see if they're coming from fear, hate, or love and light, or darkness, or all that stuff. So what we're trying to do here is essentially we're trying to kind of expose those aspects and elements within ourselves and within others, so that essentially we could raise the vibration of the entire world. And yeah, we know that there's probably agent provocateurs, and we know that there are racist policemen, but if you could see it first and foremost, and you could identify it, and if you could identify it, then you're not going to fall into the spiritual underpinnings and the spiritual traps of what that means for, violence and social activism, okay? Because you already see the game plan being given to you. So in regards to the pentacle aspect, this is physical, how it relates to the tangible 3D realm. And again, I feel like everything is imbued in some way, shape, or form. So if you imbue something with hate and fear, then that's definitely going to resonate. But if you try to your best capability, imbue things and bless things, even your mind and your head and your own thoughts, and I know that sounds so kind of gross and very matter of fact, but it's like, I honestly do believe that our beliefs really truly alter our reality. And if you don't think so, then, follow people who do make, life-altering decisions, and you'll find that it's usually based on a belief system, whether it's religion or some sort of faith or spirituality. In any event, every time I see this card, I always advise that you find what your God-given gifts and talents are, and try to work them in a spiritual regard on the side of light and love, okay, to the best of your ability. Start with where you're at, where you are, okay, and on and on and on. I have the Strength card in reverse here. It's another 8, so you got double 8s. Okay, you might want to look at that angel number if you enjoy angel numbers. Okay, this card's been popping up frequently. In the reverse, I like to read it as a positive omen, like, internalized strength and fortitude, and really standing in your confidence and your power, and knowing what side you're on and having clarity. With the Seven of Pentacles, this is seeing fruit being bared from your hard labor. Okay. The Four Cups in reverse can symbolize an internal feel of a missed opportunity, okay, or maybe going for an opportunity for your financial independence, okay. One above the Eight of Pentacles. So anytime we see an 8 and a 9 or some sort of progression, then it's kind of indefinitely demarcating that we're making progress, and especially with the fact that we got the Seven of Pentacles here. So we got the 7, 8, 9. We're seeing movement in progress. We're probably coming out of a feeling as if we're not doing our soul work here with the Four of Cups in reverse. So this is always a good thing. You definitely have victory with the Six of Wands here. Fire card. It's a Leo card. Okay, so shout out to the lions out there. It's also featured on this card. Okay, so if you're doing your spiritual work and you're in some way contributing to the fabric of reality in a positive way as much as you can to the best of your ability, then applause to you. But I think we got to know that not to get negative, but I think for the most part we have to be aware that the system and the structure that we currently operate in, for the most part, most of us, the majority of us, the 9 to 5, that's not meant for our highest health. That's actually meant to alter our sleep cycles and our circadian rhythms, and to keep us unhappy and fat and flabby and sad and not well rested. It's kind of meant to keep us as the working class off-kiltered and off-centered, just based off of our circadian rhythms. So, granted, and here's a Ten of Swords calling to leave that lifestyle, for those of you that can apply that. But yeah, so it's like certain just institutional structures, we just have to be aware. I'm not trying to be just completely negative or conspiratorial, but it's just, if you know the devil you're fighting, then it just makes the fight that much better. But when you put rest to this conflict, the Ten of Swords is about endings, and the Five of Swords is about somewhat vicious conflict. So it's the ending to vicious conflict. As soon as you do that, then by cutting cords or cutting toxic lifestyles out of your life, easier said than done, but you get this Ten of Cups. I think what we need to focus on the fact is that, for instance, if you get the Eight of Cups is wanting to move on emotionally, but sometimes we get stuck in these energy points and patterns because we don't believe that a reality of our highest good and our highest regard actually exists. And the fact of the matter is that you're right, it doesn't exist until you illuminate it with your consciousness. So I implore you to, leave the Eight of Cups and indeed walk to your emotional fulfillment, to your financial fulfillment. And especially in this day and age, we all have access to, online commerce and really being able to mobilize our own, God-given gifts and talents. So, and again, if you could segue and leverage that into, preaching a message of, peace, light, love, prosperity, health, equality, trying to influence the system in a good way, leading by example, and by all means, let's do that as a people collectively. So that's kind of what I got. Again, feel free to like, share, follow, and I'm looking forward to getting these readings knocked out for you guys. So peace, light, and love. Thanks for watching. I'm going to click off of this YouTube. Later, YouTube.